And away we go, hour number 2 on the tee this April 13th, 2011, our second 2-hour show of the year. I'm Mike Rickard, head of the Hack Nation, across from Judd Gibb, the 5-time IPGA Player of the Year, 2-time Teacher of the Year, and the coach, Jay Horton, the former UAB Blazer, and now in the golf business and enjoying himself and actually getting to watch some golf from time to time, something that people forget when you're a coach. Especially in the spring and the fall, you guys get zero time to really watch golf or even play that great game.
Yeah, like I said, I thoroughly enjoy having a chance to watch the Masters and just sit down and relax and enjoy every moment of it.
We're broadcasting on our flagship ESPN 1700, The Champ. Of course, on the Iowa Sports Connection radio network. Great stations like 620 KMNS in Sioux City and 1230 WFXN in the Quad Cities. On television now on 9.2 KCRG in Cedar Rapids, reaching Iowa City, Dubuque, Cedar Falls, Waterloo, and the surrounding area. And right here in central Iowa, of course, our home here at 1801 Grand, WHO TV, 13.2 and Mediacom channels 113, 246, and streaming live on Ustream.tv. And I want to do a little shout-out here. One of our great sponsors over in Newton, Iowa, is Four Seasons Golf Practice Center. You've seen their hat here in the studio all year long. And Dave Peters and his lovely wife, Dawn, she's just recovering from some surgery, so we want to tell her to get well because people want to get over to Four Seasons and work on their game in that portion of the state. And they got great news. They got the only golf simulator in central Iowa, perfect for rainy days and upcoming in the winter. And those simulators are unbelievable. I mean, you can play Torrey Pines, Pebble Beach. You've probably played them before, some of these simulators, haven't you?
I haven't played it in the new versions. I did years ago.
Just located right off south of Newton on Highway South 74 on Reasoner Avenue, Four Seasons Golf Practice Center.com.
I once knew a guy who went to Torrey Pines, I mean the real one, and just drove around in a cart and didn't play.
Shut your yapper! Hey,
so if you went
shut
to
the yapper.
If you went to Four Seasons, would you just sit there and watch other people play?
I would hit balls, have a beverage. They got a great bar. And
no, but would you just watch people? You wouldn't actually play.
They got a great sports bar. No, I would hit balls. They got a little practice area there. I'm working on my game now.
What on earth did you do going to Torrey
Pines?
Let
me tell you what happened.
Play?
He's told the story before.
Yes, I've told this story before. And Clair Peterson's on hold, but he'll have to listen to this, my Packer pal. We went out to Torrey Pines, and my wife and my mother surprised us with a round of golf. My stepfather, God rest his soul, who was a worse hack than I. And we got up there, the women dropped us off and went shopping, and we looked at each other. He said, my God, we'll be out here for 7 hours. We'll go through, probably 20 balls. So I went up to the clubhouse and said to the guy, hey, would you mind if we just drove around? Because it's spectacular, it's obvious if you've been there or seen on television. And we drove around all 18, all right?
Fair enough.
Took some great pictures, and I should have never fessed up to that. All right, let's go down. Let's go down to the Quad Cities and get a little sensibility to the show with Clair Peterson. He's the executive director of the John Deere Classic. How are you, Clair?
Hey, I'm doing well. I've enjoyed listening to your stories, although I don't think you have any excuse for that one. I'm with the other guys. If you don't tee it up at Torrey Pines, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Claire, you get a chance to play a lot of great courses or go to a lot of great places. You've never just gone driven around the golf course, have you?
Never.
Oh, come on, man. I thought you'd have my back a little bit. Hey, speaking of around courses, how riveting was that Masters for you, especially because most of these guys, close and have had conversations and know them well. Wasn't that a great Masters?
Yeah, it was terrific. I've, as you, I'm sure, have listened to some talk radio and read some stories about, speculating if this might have not been one of the more exciting ones ever, and you could certainly have that discussion. It was fun for me. I had, the week before in Houston, I had an unbelievable conversation with Louis Eustace and Charles Schwartzel were right next to each other on the range, and I'd never really met Charles before, but had talked to Louis because, if you remember, when he won the British Open, the first thing he did with his winnings was buy a big 6,000 series John Deere tractor for his parents' farm in South Africa, and I was, kind of needling him about that, saying how, he's our hero back in Moline, and Charles is also, I find out, from a farm, and we were making plans for those guys to come to the Quad Cities, not necessarily to play in the John Deere this year, but to visit the John Deere factories and the world headquarters. And they're just both terrifically polite and wonderful guys to be around. I think everyone got kind of a new appreciation for Schwartzel if you didn't know about him before. So between that and then Jason Day, the young man that we gave an exemption to when he was 18 years old, and he's obviously done really well. It was pretty exciting.
You've had a pretty good success rate with some of the exemptions then over there. I think Ricky Fowler obviously before, Jason Day. I mean, that's like I said, a lot of great players have had their start at the John Deere Classic.
Yeah, Ricky Barnes, another young player. Lucas Glover, who obviously went on and won the U.S. Open. Zach was an exemption of ours. We try to really, there's no science to it, but we try to identify young players that we think have a future, and more importantly, just are good guys and need that or appreciate that first break. Webb Simpson was a young man back in '06. He was here for the first time, and he almost got in the winner's circle this year. And they're all really nice young guys, and you root for them. And like I say, watching Jason was in his first Masters too. I mean, that just doesn't happen, especially to birdie the 71st and 72nd hole. It was really something.
Yeah, not only Jason Day, who had a fantastic first Masters. Gary Woodland was a guy that you had in your field last year, and he was making some early rumblings with a 3 under par round of 69.
Yeah, he's another great. I talked to him in Tampa this year, and he said his family would kill him if they ever skipped the John Deere because that's about the closest event. So when he won in Tampa, we were obviously really excited about that, and he's had a heck of a year. He's really got a lot of people's attention. If you didn't know who he was last year, you certainly know this year. He lost in the playoff at the Hope, and Bo Van Pelt, we know he's coming to the John Deere, and there he goes, Eagles 13, Eagles 15. All of a sudden he gets a 10 under, and he's in the conversation. So it was riveting, especially having Tiger in there. Certainly got people's interest early. It was a bit surprising to see him just shoot even par on the back nine with those 2 par 5s especially, but that's Augusta. You never know.
Claire, I want to talk to you a little bit about golf course setups, because it seems like the whoever makes the decisions at Augusta sets that golf course up on Sunday, at least the back nine. At least they have the last few years for some exciting finishes. You talked about Bo Van Pelt making 2 eagles. Does that go into to when you guys sit down and talk about each year's John Deere? Do you talk about things like that, course setup? Maybe try to help create an exciting finish like that.
Well, I think using Augusta as an example, they changed their philosophy. Hootie Johnson made that course under his tenure really difficult. I think when Zach won, it was only a handful under par. When they, had kind of a backlash and wanted the excitement with some birdies and eagles and some movement on the leaderboard. Our golf course really is set up for a very exciting finish, and really the only setup issues for us revolve around green speeds, and that has a lot to do with the weather, how hot it is, how much rain we've had. The tee box locations on the par 3s will change a little bit from day to day, but that's what I love about our finish, quite honestly, is that on 14 you have potentially drivable par 4, but if you get in a bad spot, you can get a bogey there in a heartbeat. 17, you can get an eagle on that hole, but if you get in a bad spot, you can bogey it. Tim Clark bogeyed it when in '07 when Jonathan Bird birdied it, and that was the difference in the tournament. And 18 is just as hard a par 4 and demanding at 2 shots as you're ever going to want. So we kind of have built in, not unlike Augusta, quite honestly, not to make ourselves out to be Augusta, but we've got an exciting array of finishing holes already, and the course setup really doesn't change a whole lot for us from year to year.
We're talking to Clair Peterson, the executive director of the John Deere Classic. The dates this year, of course, our what are the dates? You got those right in front of you? I got it right here. Here we go. The 4th,
Yeah,
July 4th through the 10th. And I guess the question I have, a lot of us Iowans were, a bit disappointed in Zach Johnson not making the cut. Have you had an opportunity? We know he's such a pivotal part of the John Deere Classic. Have you had any conversation this spring with Zach?
Oh yeah, I saw him in Tucson, and he calls in every month for our executive committee meetings. He's really looking forward to this year's event, just like always. He's one of our best ambassadors. When we never take that for granted, and we're always very appreciative to have a guy like Zach in our field. When you add that to the fact that Steve Stricker, another great Midwestern, down-to-earth, solid, easy to root for guy, was our two-time defending champion, we, right out of the gate are pretty excited about what's going to happen this year. But Zach is always there for us. He's out talking to other players on our behalf if they haven't seen the golf course or haven't been here for a while. Last year, KJ Choi was here for the first time, and Stuart Appleby was here for the first time. We always seem to get some marquee guys that, especially because they can get a nice, easy, hassle-free flight to the British Open, that put us on the schedule each year.
Well, we always appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to converse with us regarding the John Deere Classic. We're looking forward to another incredible partnership and year, and we'll continue the conversations. If people want tickets, besides listening to our show and winning them in the next couple of months, how do they get a hold of you?
The best way is to go on the website, johndeereclassic.com, www.johndeereclassic.com. There's a click and print feature right on the website. It'll give you the latest information on the field as we get closer to the tournament, parking, all those things that you need to know. So we really appreciate being on your show and partnering with you guys.
So I guess I'm not invited to come down there and just drive around and look at the track. I'd have to play it, huh?
Oh, we'd charge you. You could drive it. We'll charge you full green fee.
All right, Claire. Have a great week. We appreciate you joining us on the tee.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.
Clair Peterson, yeah, thanks for embarrassing me with a guy that I thought I had a modicum of some respect, and embarrassing me across the entire now new television audience.
You've told the story before.
Well, yeah, but I thought everybody forgot about it.
I haven't heard it, and to stick up on your side a little bit, I recruited out there. I didn't get a chance to play the golf course.
You bought me a hat.
It is an unbelievable sight to be able to just see that area out there.
I played the Coronado right next. I played that course, but I just thought.
Did you shoot 9 over there, Mike?
Shot a carton of balls over there at the Coronado range.
What's the proper terminology? I'm the hack. What's the proper terminology?
I'm just trying to help you out. Did you play 9 holes?
Okay, yes.
Did you play golf?
I played
at
18.
Coronado?
I played 18. I actually played 18 in Florida. First time, and not putt-putt. I didn't play Smuggler's Cove.
Oh, I thought it was Pirates Cove.
No, there's two. There's Smuggler's Cove.
36-hole facility?
Pirates Cove. Challenging par 2s. A lot of challenging par 2s.
I mean, and I told you.
Some of that carpet really runs fast.
I told you, if you're going to go down there, take your clubs and play. Don't come back and go, oh, I didn't have time. Because I know you had time.
I didn't take my sticks, but my cousin had sticks for me. And explain to me before we take a quick break. I grabbed his King Cobra.
Wait a minute. What'd you do?
King Cobra offset club. How come I was able to hit that offset just straight as an arrow? You know, my whopping 180 drives, 200 drives, but straight as an arrow.
Well,
is that because I got my face open so much and it comes around?
Well, the offset will help.
It did help.
It will help a little bit. It gives you a little extra time to square that club face up.
Well,
and it could.
Can you get a double offset? Because that's what I want now.
Yeah.
I need a custom-made double offset driver, and then I'll get rid of the women's Callaway.
Ladies. Oh, well, they probably make a ladies version of it.
I'm done with the ladies. I've taken enough crap about that.
Can Mike mark that? I want that saved.
Mike gets,
says he's done with
our
the ladies.
Callaway rep moved to Chicago, so I don't have to use the Callaway. Anybody out there, Pitsy, Dumphy, anybody can help me. I need a double offset driver. and then I think I won't need you, man. I'm just straight like a rifle shot.
I'll be honest with you. Of all the things that I thought that you needed to work on in your game, you are straight. You don't venture out of the fairway too much.
No, I don't. Thank heavens.
You don't hit it far enough to get out of the fairway. But no, seriously.
I hit it far enough off the tee box to get into the short
And
stuff.
I would say that you're a fair putter.
Yeah, I'm an average putter, for a hack.
Jay, if you've never seen it, he kind of gets into the Palmer squat,
It's my old pool instincts. I do have touch.
If he ever wore a shirt that you had to tuck in, he'd hitch his pants up, but he doesn't tuck his shirt in, so he doesn't need to hitch his pants up.
We'll be back. We're going to take a break here on the Tee on the Iowa Sports Connection. By the way, you haven't said anything about my beautiful shirt. On the Iowa Sports Connection Radio and Television Network.